From Mpumalanga to the city of George in the Western Cape, where there are huge problems with water. The council, as I understand it, is now making available or selling what's called grey water or raw water. So water that's not for human consumption. You don't drink it. It can be used for other things. Leon van Wyk is the executive mayor of the municipality of George. Mr. Mayor, good afternoon to you. What are you doing? What kind of water are you making available?
Good afternoon, Stephen. What we have done is making the raw water available to citizens who are looking for additional water for their gardens, or possibly to fill swimming pools, or for construction work. In other words, with building activity taking place, that they make use of raw water to alleviate the pressures that we have, for instance, on water treatment. On the one side, and if we just look at the water treatment side, we are busy with a major expansion on our water treatment capacity of 50%. And what we found from the end of 2021 and through 2022, we found enormous pressure on the usage of our treated water, the potable water, compared to what we were able to treat, in other words, the capacity. So we were starting to bump up to those levels. We've now also brought in additional temporary capacity in terms of treatment while we are busy with that construction. But why we did that is really twofold. One being the pressures on using treated water, and then secondly, we took preemptive action in terms of our dam levels, in other words, our raw water source, which is the Garden Route Dam, and we were sort of running down on the levels within that dam. We went down to about 45-46% towards the end of November, early December, and what we then added in were we added additional water restrictions. And included in those water restrictions was this use of the raw water, where people can now apply to make use of that. In the meantime, we did have some rain, because our level of rainfall in 2022 was well below the normal average. And so we were concerned about that, but we had reasonably big rains in the middle of December and earlier on in this month, which has then taken our dam level up to 64%. You know, clearly one would like to have full dams at all times, but you know, we are obviously hoping that additional rainfall will come through in the next few months that then fills the dam further. But in the meantime, we then felt that we needed to protect ourselves, that we were not using too much of our treated water, and therefore made the raw water available, as you've mentioned.
Okay, so this raw water, you buy it directly from the council. You can't drink it. You can use it for gardens. You say you can use it for swimming pools. I imagine you might need to make sure that young children don't drink it by mistake.
Sure.
How serious, I mean, when you look at this, you're looking at a situation where you're basically making different types of water available. And I wonder if other people are going to follow the example, because we use water for all sorts of things. We use water to flush toilets. We don't really need drinking water to flush a toilet. Yes. I mean, that's probably what 90% of us do.
Yes, look, you know, we've been through a fair drought period in around about the 2009-2010 period. And the municipality then went on an active campaign encouraging residents to put up water tanks and connect them obviously to their roofs and so forth. So you would then collect rainwater and start using that rainwater for your garden and you know, to whatever you do. At that stage, when the drought was particularly, we were in difficult times at that stage, people would use some of that water that they'd collected in their tanks off the roof, for instance, going into the toilets. But that, I think, is you know, it's an issue that we all need to face in South Africa and understand that we are a water scarce country, and that we need to actually look after our water and manage our water very carefully. And when you have a treatment plant, a large treatment plant, that costs money to treat that water and then to distribute by the very comprehensive networks that municipalities have, so that you then, in your household, you receive treated water, and that treated water you would then be using in your garden, or you'd be using in the toilet, because that's the water that's available to you, and it is water that has obviously been treated, that is of drinking quality. And so we don't have a dual system where one has other water readily available.
Mr.
And
I really appreciate the time and the explanation, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Leon van Wyk is the Executive Mayor of the Municipality of George.